This is a free podcast from the BBC. For more information, you can go to our website, bbc.co.uk/Radio 2.
Could you please ask the voice of the balls to stop his lovely colleague? Have you got a colleague?
No.
No, you haven't got a friend, I know
Lovely
that.
colleague, yeah.
Lovely colleague on the lottery show to stop saying H. It's driving me mad. H.
How often do you need to say H?
Well, not very often, but we did manage to achieve it a few times.
Look, I'm not well. Oh, look, Lollipop's not well either. Oh, Lollipop, I know exactly. Caught a bit of me Welsh Rough's cold. Now, how did you get that, Lollipop? But joy of joy, whose dulcet tones have greeted me this morning. The housewife's bit of rough. It's yourself.
The housewife's been a rough.
It's yourself.
You know.
Could you ask him if he's finished propping up your programme? Could he... What? Could he come and rub some goose grease on me chest? What is this strange power you have?
I don't know what it is, Adam. It's rather magical, isn't it?
Over women,
Let me just look
animals.
now. Let me just cast my eye across to my other colleague.
Look at her. She's melting even as you look.
Putty in my hand.
Quite.
I think it's putty. Isn't it?
From the landlady of the Silver Sleeve Public House in Teach Yourself Brummie College, Wealdstone. Dear sir, one of our regulars, Mr. A. Dedicoat, has reported that you felt left out of the U2 Fest that was spread across every other BBC show last week.
Yes. There was
Culminating in a rooftop gig. A rooftop jig.
and a helicopter.
No, don't be talking now. And not a word to me, of course. Did you think Boney O came over and said, how are you, Terry? Listen, would you like us to sing on your show? Not a word.
No.
Not a word. He'd be waiting a long time for me to play his old records. Look, here, I'll tell you what. You read the travel. I'll give this to Dudley.
Right.
And the whole thing will sound much more professional.
Okay.
Oh, boon, a boon.
brief.
Now, look, Dudley, there's something that's come in here. And
Was it?
I was unable to read it last week because I don't hail from that part of the United Kingdom. But it's an ode to Lynn, part 3 by Norman Two Ferrets Hodgkiss, Dudley's own poet laureate.
When you come to Dudley, I'll show you all the sights. We'll go out in the evening to see the Dudley lights. I'll take you to the tea dance and show you it to me gran. She's 98 on Tuesday and lives with Uncle Stan. I'll treat you like a lady. You'll never need to moan. And apart from calls of nature, you'll never be alone. So come to Dudley, lovely Lynn. I'll do that again. So come to Dudley, lovely Lynn. You know you'll have some fun. You know you won't regret it. You'll be really glad you've come.
Dudley.
Isn't that lovely?
Oh,
How
was that
can I
magical for you?
resist? I'm putty again.
Reduced to sludge.
That happened a long time ago, actually.
Moving on.
Sorry.
Very warm
There's
in
something here. Oh, local boy makes good. Number 476 in an occasional series from the Dudley Daily Digest, incorporating the Stoat Sexers Monthly. Alan Diddle's Dedicoat has certainly been on a journey since his days as a concert chairman and bingo caller of the Dudley Knitting for Victory and Unusual Puddings Club in the 1950s.
Yes.
Joining the BBC as Bill Cotton's office chair and automatic shoe polisher, he won Brown Noser of the Year and was soon going up in the world, being promoted to assistant lift boy. I don't know why your voice isn't the one on the lifts at the television centre.
I don't know. It's somebody else's.
An official cardigan defluffer. Due to the unfortunate accident we all saw, so all 47 available presenters being locked in the garbage disposal tunnel.
Yes, that was good.
Dedicoat's first broadcast as Alva Lardell's cough saw his career truly take off. Soon he had turned the shipping forecast and herring prices slot into his personal fiefdom. Since employing his niece, Cardigan Bay Bowles, as his agent and enforcer, he has
Don't touch the boy.
his pick of roles that no one else wants. Currently starring in the BBC's legendary breakfast show, Wake Up in Lake Wobegon.
Close.
But only for the weeks when Jane Marsh is unavailable. This man seems to have a master grasp. And look, I noticed that last night's question time came from Dudley.
Is that right?
So how come Deadly Alan Coate was not on the panel?
With that dimple bum. Was it?
You were overlooked.
Ooh. Again.
The perfect choice. Oh, look.
What?
Deadly is from Dudley by Norman Two Ferrets Hodgkiss. I shall give you that to read because, let's face it, nobody else could make anything like the kind of show that you do.
Or indeed sense of it. Yes.
You regularly make a show of yourself. Were you wise to ask for pies when good husbandry said tighten your belt? Is noshing performance in conformance with directives for presenters to be svelte? For mothers of 9 it may be fine, with so many young mouths to feed, but with the Larkrise elite should be discreet if Dorcas's approval they need. Sons of Dudley eye should ask themselves why, with portliness they're fully compliant. Roly-poly jocks should expect weigh-in shocks, if on scraps from your table they're reliant. Croaky.
Very good.
Isn't
Very
he?
good. Is he all there?
No, I don't think so. Not if he's listening to this.
What shall we do now?
Well, the chief librarian of the Dudley Metropolitan Library says, despite the riots that have taken place across the borough, since it was officially announced yesterday, I've been asked to trace King Dudley's genealogy ahead of his receiving the keys to the city.
Ooh, genealogy, I think, isn't it?
What about this little...
A little recitation.
A recitation.
Little recitation.
Yes, indeed.
Dudley is from Dudley by Norman Two Ferrets Hodgkiss. Dudley is from Dudley. It's clear for all to say. Dudley is from Dudley because he speaks a lot like me. I think he used to live near us, next door to Auntie Nell. He had an outdoor toilet that often used to smell. He used to wear big shorts that come down to his knees, and he had a dog called Herbert that was always full of flies. There's not a hint of Geordie when he opens up his gob, or a trace of Cockney when newsreading is his job. So Dudley is from Dudley. Shout it out aloud. Dudley is from Dudley. It makes me very proud.
Dame Edna will never be dead while you're alive, son.
Thank you, darling.
I didn't know when we were dressing this... Oh, sorry. That we were wearing more... My tie matched your shirt.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? We're beautifully coordinated.
Look, a little tale here from Jeff Hurst. No, not that Jeff Hurst. I know that Jeff Hurst. This is a second cousin twice removed. I did get a trial with West Ham, with the Hammers. Oh, I know, I'm blowing bubbles. Some years ago, when friends were... Just a little tale. Were with us for a dinner party. While I served the wine, I asked one of my friends how his attempt at winemaking was progressing. He replied, it was all bottled, and he was looking forward to sampling it in due course. I remarked, I could never figure out how he could seal the bottles properly. Whereupon his wife piped up. Well, Raymond has a corker. Stop.
Pull yourself together.
I'm sorry.
You're listening to the Wake Up to Wogan podcast from BBC Radio 2.
I'm sure you watched with pride on Saturday as Ireland took advantage of an England side that went slightly mad to wend their way to a possible Grand Slam. Yes, fairly disappointing game, I would have thought. I think Ronan O'Gara took the day off. As is customary in the Six Nations matches, the Royal Bank of Scotland, are they still with us, nominated the man of the match. And your man Brian O'Driscoll, of course. Wonderful. It's good to see the RBS reward performance this way. Here we go. Surely, following normal bank procedure, they should have nominated the worst man of the match and given him a fat pension for life. Is it me? Dudley. That's Dudley Squat. Well, I never thought I'd hear your name mentioned on Test Match Specialist. I spent the entire weekend sitting on my duff watching sport. I mean, if it wasn't rugby, it was golf. I did say to the President, Mr. Wogan, a couple of times, we really ought to get out into the air, you know. I was listening on Saturday to Test Match Special, and says Francis Klonowski of Leeds, so you're another one who just sits there. Yeah. Well, not for the first time. The topic under discussion was the new system of referring to the third umpire. It could be the Eurovision Song Contest, said Vic Marks. And now, over to Turkey. Oh, yes, said the great Jonathan Agnew, with Terry Wogan doing the commentary. Ha-ha. You see, I think they're just a little bit behind the times in Test Match Special, and who can blame them? And by the way, if England employ, says Francis Klonowski, a specialist batting coach and a specialist bowling coach, how come in the space of 3 weeks they're all out for 51 and have 749 runs scored against them? What exactly is being coached? Come on. It's a ball game. It does seem to be the same actor. Yes, it does. Yeah, Auntie Histamine. The same actor playing the gardening Bobby, Cabbage Patterson, in Lark Rise to Candleford and BBC One on Sunday. Ah, yes, indeed. I love the way he saluted. And then, straight afterwards, the vampire copper in Being Human on BBC Three. The man is being typecast. And so there he is. He's the old gardening Bobby in Lark Rise and a vampire Bobby in Being Human. Surely an actor who can cover the miles from Candleford to Bristol and leap forward a century in time while changing his uniform, shaving off his moustache, having a fringe cut and grabbing a walkie-talkie all at the same time it takes to play the Lark Rise theme tune should excel in another field. I feel he should be in our athletics squad for the 2012 Olympics. Did you watch the TV coverage of the... did I watch? The old golf match play, the Accenture. Didn't the Brits do well? Sorry, as somebody said, the English do well, yeah. Do you notice the continual repetitive bird song? Yes, myself and the present Lady Wogan, we noticed this and we wondered, was it some kind of mechanical thing or some kind of lunatic bird, common only to the Sonoran Desert?
Or was it deadly?
It could have been deadly because usually with bird song, that's exactly who it could be. And do not talk on the radio with your mouth full. He couldn't leave the game pie alone.
Will I ever be slim?
Ah! There you are. Straight from the Sonoran Desert. Oh, about that Quentin Letts fellow who's writing about you. During the week, a decent man. Not a word against him. Even if he's right, and you've decided to hang up your spottle. I won't forget you. Yes, as you sit in your sensible dressing gown, gazing out at the Chiswick skyline from the cosy confines of your maroon Draylon wingback chair at the Dun Crashin rest home for retired jocks, a thin silver stubble adorning that noble chin, as you give your wheaty bangs good breakfast gumming. I'll still write. You see, in the words of the song, you've always seemed like a friend to me, you old pilot of the airwaves, you. Sorry. Got a bit carried away. Are you blubbing, Larry Lachrymose in Lanark? Some good news from Norm, still in Newport. And good morning to you, Norman and Helen. And thanks to yourself and Barrowlands and the U-Controller of BBC Radio 2, yes, old Mick Shannon. What a striker he was. What a winger. And indeed a racehorse trainer of some distinction, who joined us for coming to the Gold Discs presentation, which we had on Friday, hosted by BBC Children in Need. And just to give you some idea, Janet and John, because of the sales of Janet and John, following the Togs auction, the final totals were £669,000, virtually £670,000. Togs calendar sales, including bandaged, £350,000, well, nearly £351,000. Donations, nearly £3,000. Togs marathon, nearly £4,000. Warner's single, which was a little Welsh chap and some other fellow, that's nearly £44,000, and the total is over £1 million. And Janet and John has now contributed over £3 million to children in need. And the Togs calendar, well over £1 million. So, and again, we got the VAT back from the Chancellor, so good luck to him. So a wonderful, wonderful presentation it was, and particularly we were delighted to give a presentation to Mick Sturbs, who, of course, writes Janet and John and has done enormous good for children in need. And our congratulations to David Ramsden, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Children in Need, a proud father. Well done. Well done to him. And, of course, the lady wife as well. So congratulations to everybody on behalf of Children in Need. This is not in any sense to detract from the current surge for comic relief, which is going to raise millions and millions for wonderful causes. So I hope you're going to support that as well. I'm sure you will.
You're listening to the Wake Up to Wogan podcast from BBC Radio 2.
I was listening to Radio 4, and there was a Scottish minister talking about the proposed minimum price for alcohol in Scotland, yes. He said that they need to introduce it because kids can go and buy several 2-litre bottles of strong cider and several cans of lager and have change from a £5. What? Sounds like a good deal. And a lot cheaper than the booze cruise to France. Look, that's the wrong attitude. Sorry, you're taking completely the wrong attitude, which is not unusual on this programme. I feel I must enlist the BBC's help. It's a public service broadcasting organisation. Oh, look, you're coming to the wrong place here. Honestly, we only do entertainment here, which is a sort of diminishing resource in the BBC. I would, of course, normally correspond with Radio 4. That's more like it. But the carers at St Mary Mead's Home for Retired and Bewildered Sleuths require we all listen to you. Is this from Miss Marble? Oh, no, it's Jane Marbles, this is. In any case, I managed to give one of the nurses the slip the other day. Delicate little thing called Rose, who used to represent St Mary Mead in the shot put at the annual county fair, to nip out to the shops to buy some Victoria sponge. Real Victoria sponge, not the stuff Mary in the kitchen makes. Well, having to leave somewhat precipitously, I forgot my trusty wicker basket. At the checkout, I was confronted by a spotty chap who refused to allow me to dither with my purse, a technique I've honed over the years, which, whilst giving the impression that I'm infirm and an elderly spinster, in fact allows me to avoid banal conversation. Shrewd. He announced loudly, "Do you have a bag?" My razor-sharp sleuth's suspicions were instantly alerted, as the gaze of each of his eyeballs failed to meet at any point in front of him. "Well, no," I said, looking from hand to hand. "Bag for life!" he spat. I realised just in time this was a question and not an insult, but he refused to do anything more until I replied, "Well, yes." As I departed hastily, I noticed that the corner of the Victoria sponge box had now poked a hole through my bag for life. Do you think he's been talking to my doctor? Do you think he's in league with someone at the home? I've generated a few enemies over the years who'd love to have their own back on me. Perhaps I looked just a bit pasty that day. Have you seen Inspector Craddock recently? I need to tell him... This whole programme is turning into a gossip column. My interweb has just offered me ethical pet insurance. What can I do? My pets have no ethics. What? My dog bites the postman, well, the milkman, anyone. My cat does things I can't tell you about over the clean washing. And my budgie calls you a talentless oik every time he hears your voice. I can't have ethical pet insurance. I know, you don't have ethical pets. They sound like the wrong kind of pet anyway to me. I have a query for you. I'm 20. Well, Lottie, are you apologising or glorying in it? And at university, and I wake up every morning to you without fail, even though my lectures don't start until 10. You shouldn't be out of bed at all. You should still be asleep. I wondered if you had a name for us, like the Togs. Well, Tigs, of course, Terry's young geezers, or the Tugs, Terry's university geezers. Good morning. According to the papers, the way to make your marriage last, says Lollipop, is to take up the same hobbies and have a night out with the lads or the girls. Well, goodness only knows how mine and me Welsh rough's marriage has managed to last 34 years. He won't take up knitting. I refuse to sit on the settee shouting at the ref on a football match. And I forget the last time I had a night out with the lads. What ho, Northern Hemisphere. Greetings from Perth. But that is in the northern... Oh, you mean Perth, Australia. Sarah Whittaker. I just thought you'd like to know that it all ended happily in Cranford last night. You see, they've only just got that in Australia. Everyone happily partnered off. Well, I don't know. The train's coming. A fine muslin delivered from India. No intruders found under the bed. Yes, but did anything ever happen in Cranford? You'll find nothing, apart from the cat being sick. We want to know what we're likely to get in Larkrise to Candleford, or when we're likely to get it, says Sarah. Well, when you get it, you'll love it. Keep an eye out for Twister. And Cabbage Patterson, the local policeman, is a bit of a ladies' man. Driving to work the other morning, I work with children who've learning difficulties, so listening to your show prepares me nicely. Thank you. Or outdoors, when I heard the listener complaining that memory mattresses hadn't improved his memory. I myself had a similar experience with self-assembly furniture. I took delivery of 4 items which stated they were self-assembly, so left them downstairs, went to bed. In the morning I was confident the furniture would have done what it said on the tin. No such thing. I did manage to assemble the furniture, but I had the last laugh. At the end I discovered they'd given me far too many bolts and screws. I had a whole bag full left, surplus to requirements. Oh, leaning against an open door with me there. I've never assembled anything in my life. And Jack Allen of Whitley Bay says, driving past Gosford Park Racecourse over the weekend, a road sign briefly caught my eye. Caution. Men on verge of working. Howdy, handsome. Howdy. Howdy doody. That's Frida Mare. Having been too long since you last won an award, yes, indeed, I'm beginning to wonder, is there another award ever on the horizon? I decided to nominate you for one of the 2009 Sonny Awards. Oh, that was nice. Thank you, Frida. Anyway, after further investigation, the nomination was rejected because it appears one member of your team is no longer an employee of the BBC. What a farce that was, for goodness sake. According to the awards committee, Boggy Marsh retired from the BBC some time ago, so no longer qualifies to be a team member. Look, there is a flaw in your little argument there, Frida, and the flaw is the word team. There is no team here. There's me. Me, and some peons, or underlings. As a maths teacher, yes, Antoinette from Athlone, how did you ever bring yourself to leave the centre of Ireland? As a maths teacher, I think we should discuss the calculation of the area of the circle and the volume of the sphere. Why would you say that, Antoinette? Oh, I see. National Pie Week. You'd have to be educated to understand that one. Incidentally, did geometry ever do you any good? Algebra? Graphs? Sines? Cosines? That's it. I'll have to turn you off. Look, Floribunda, you're not the first to do that. I'm trying to write an essay for my anaesthetic nurse module. I never met an anaesthetic nurse. The move at all. And all your laughter and frivolity is putting me off. Could you put on a CD of lift music for the next hour? Easy. I'm the very man who can pick those kind of music for you. He was with me a couple of seconds ago. While the doommongers inform us of another snowflake attack, I recall a hilarious event occurred during the last snowstorm. I had a 2-day business trip to Scotland. This is Dave. And my flight to Dundee was cancelled due to the snow, so the airline offered me an alternative flight on different days. Rather pleased to sort things so quickly, so not the norm with customer call centres. The next day my credit card statement showed a part refund. The return flight had still been charged. So I called the airline and they said, no, the return flight went ahead as normal, sir. We only cancelled the outgoing flight, so we refunded you for that flight and arranged an alternative trip. And I said, but if I couldn't catch the outgoing flight, how am I expected to catch the return flight? Well, that's up to you, sir. For all we know, you could have travelled by train. You really should have cancelled the return flight. And would you have charged me for cancelling it? That's our policy, sir. Terms and conditions clearly displayed on our website. Morgan. Guten Morgen, Alison. Alison Ordnung. A bit of rough. Deadly. He's smoother than the velvety bit on a dog's nose.
Is there a velvet?
Yes, there is. Just a tiny little... It's very small.
Really? What have you been... Yes.
Which is something you can never say about your nose. This morning, Dudley read out something about Dudley in a supposedly black country accent. Yes, he did, yesterday. He had a high-pitched voice, which I must point out is a Birmingham tone. Black country accents are deeper. I should have thought Dudley would have known. This is from a Baggy, a West Brom fan.
The Baggies, yeah. Hawthorns.
Pardon?
The Hawthorns.
They can be a sore thing, too. Look, Chuffer Dandridge is writing.
Hello, Chuffer.
What me old tyrant of the green room.
Knows you well.
I hear you give supporting artist Deadly Allen Keyes some notes on his breathing yesterday. I might be able to afford some actually advice on the matter. I was once in a play where I played a fakir who had to go into a trance. The play was... Lady Windermere's fan. Anyway, being the consummate old pro I am, I didn't want my breathing to give away that I wasn't really in a trance. So I learned an advanced yoga technique which enabled me to breathe through my skin. Well, actors did proper research in those days. When it was time for my big scene, I totally took the audience in. As soon as I went under the flaunts, I didn't make a move, just stood centre stage with not even a breath, back hunched, face contorted. The audience gaped at me aghast. I did most of my co-stars. And then the cry went up from some young sort in the front row.
Go on. What did he say? Wait.
The old fakir snuffed it.
Oh, is it that time?
Stop it. Such was the impact of the role. Most people still call me that to this day. Of course, eager to show I was still firing on all cylinders, I launched into a medley of boiled beef and carrots. Yes, we've got no bananas, and I've a lovely bunch of coconuts. And you know, the rest of the cast wouldn't even join in. Some people have no feeling for showbiz. And that helped Dudley at all?
No! No, it didn't at all.
If so, could he drop a bag of Reddies at the front desk? I'll pick him up from Smokey. He knows everything.
How does he know Smokey?
How does he know Smokey?
Smokey's the fire officer. Great name.
You're listening to the Wake Up to Wogan podcast from BBC Radio 2.
So, stardom has finally caught up with you. Oh, Jill Dawson. God knows I've been hanging around the fringes long enough. Stage door Johnny. You got a mention last night on Holby City. Oh. All right, my cup runneth over. You can give up the dry stone walling. You've got to be asked to make live appearances in Holby City's private ward. P.S. The present Mrs. Wogan will be wanting a new hat when she comes to visit, and explain why your hands are so rough. Well, that'll be the dry stone walling. Oh, ye of little faith, Jill Dawson. I seen you on an ad for frozen fish. Didn't you used to play scrum half? I don't care if you go on a trip, a trek, a jaunt or a cruise. They're all words he doesn't mind, and not ones we tend to abuse. You can hop on a train, get in a plane, take a bus from Luton to Burnley, peregrinate, transit or gallivant. Just try, just don't go on a journey. Ah, tiramisu. If anybody else takes a journey, whether they're cooking, on a reality show, have just won a singing contest, or quickest to take their clothes off. Sorry, please, no more journeys, all right? Good. Seated. Oh, you were seated, were you, Lollipop? Thank heavens. There's far too many people still sat. In my lounge last night. Oh, you've got a lounge, have you, Lollipop? Rather than a withdrawing room. Getting bored. There was nothing on the telly. I got to thinking about old age. And you know you're getting old when you can't remember the last time you lay on the floor to watch TV. No, you know you're getting old when at Christmas you don't have to lie on the floor after Christmas dinner. Many years ago, on a Round the Horn programme, there was a reference to Throw a Pie at a Pig Week, organised by the Society for the Prevention of Pigs Getting Above Themselves, says Callum. Yes, well, we had sort of false tabs, false alarm about the old pie. Yes. Look, there's no use sending us in pie, all right? If you're going to send them in, cook them, okay? I know, I'm sounding like an ingrate. Sydney says, oh, don't talk to me about feeling old. Look, Sydney, we don't want to talk to anybody about feeling old. This is Sydney Harbour Bridge. I reckon you know you're getting old. Somebody said you know you're getting old when you don't lie down on the floor to watch the television anymore. And I said, you know you're getting old when you don't have to lie down on the floor after your Christmas dinner. I reckon you know you're getting old when you watch those celebrity programs on TV and find yourself not having a clue who the celebrity is. Or not being able to tell them apart from the non-celebrity. Oh, story as old as time. Well, Ken Bruce. Hello, Ken.
Hello.
And there you are. He's ready and raring to get in terribly early and for the rehearsal. How's the rehearsal going?
Just about now, I do my press-ups.
Ah, excellent. So he's got the old medicine ball out. Yes, indeed. And, of course, he has his left leg around his right ear because, of course, he does a bit of yoga on the side. You man of many parts. It was a roller coaster of a ride last night's telly, wasn't it? What? Was it? What was I watching? I can't remember. It's just a blur. Having just recovered from Hugh Edwards' tales of Gladstone and his sorties into the red light district. How did Hugh Edwards get that gig? Huh? I could have done that. A whole new meaning to the Gladstone bag. We were then transported by dear barking mad Heston blooming thing, to a drug-crazed Mad Hatter's tea party, mock turtle tea bags, a Victorian insect garden, and a vibrating luminous absinthe jelly, accompanied by helium balloons. Well, why was I foolish enough to miss that? No silence on this, but it's the only programme on the BBC that you two did not appear on. I'm taking it personally. I've just had an email from my daughter's scout leader informing us about St. George's Day Parade. Ah, well, Callum. Apparently, she should go, because St. George isn't just the patron saint of England, he's the patron saint of scouting. Wasn't it time you were beatified? St. Wogan, patron saint of broadcast. Saint, okay? I shall write to the Pippo. You'll write to the Pope, okay? Look, it's a terrible curse, dyslexia. And Edna Cloud said, having been rather busy at the weekend, oh, thank God somebody's out there working, Edna. I only caught up with the Lockrise recording on Tuesday. She's got a little recorder on her television. I knew it was a risk. You might have already told me all about it, as with Midsummer Murders. But it's, just for people who haven't got anything to record their television with, I like to tell them what's happening. But you hadn't mentioned, this wonderful moment, when Miss Pearl, in order to avoid being seen in her assignation with the Cabbage Patch policeman, dived into the undergrowth in the best falling scene since Del Boy went through the bar hatch. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
You're listening to the Wake Up to Wogan podcast from BBC Radio 2.
I've just come up with an idea for a brand new show for Saturday night television. Thank God. Somebody give Michael Grade a call. You could do with something. From the old stable, Stamford, it's Peter. Strictly come banking. What we do is we give 12 bankers unlimited supplies of government money, and the one who loses the least each week is voted out. What? I found to say... It's a bit of a cracker. Seriously, what? Martin is taking it seriously. There's no point, Martin. Nobody knows anything, okay? There's no point taking it seriously. Nobody understands what's going on. Seriously, if one looks at any banknote, including the old white fibre of Chuffer Dandridge, the words are, I promise to pay the bearer. This, I was taught, represents the gold reserves held at the Bank of England. That means that we can't issue paper money unless we have gold reserves to represent it. Or have I missed something? Yes, I think what you've missed is the passing of Sir Stafford Cripps, Martin. I think probably... Following your comment about the polar bears on the ice floes, I felt I had to share this with you. Well, go on then, Jimmy. Apparently last year, a gentleman by the name of Lewis Gordon Pugh set out in a kayak for the North Pole to demonstrate the shrinking of the Arctic ice. At 80 degrees north, still some 600 miles short of the North Pole, he met with ice so thick that both he and his support ship had to turn back. It must be tough for professional comics when life continually insists on being funnier than anything they could invent. I've just sung and danced my way through Young at Heart, which was the song that you probably missed because we opened the show with it, and you probably don't rise from your trundle bed for a dish of tea, the healing bohea, until about 8, and while standing at my kitchen window holding a slice of wholemeal toast and frightening the living Wogans out of 3 car drivers, a cyclist, 2 school children, and Pam, who goes out to buy the papers at the same time every morning. Antihistamine says my reputation as the mad woman of our cul-de-sac grows and grows. Mind you water it regularly, Auntie. I heard on the news, oh, well, then it must be true, Nobby, to get out of the financial crisis, the Bank of England is to print more money. Fantastic idea. So, when my friendly call centre phone asked me to reduce my overdraft, I can say I'm just printing the money now and pay it when the ink's dry. My great-uncle Edgar printed some money years ago. He went to Armley Jail. He was before his time. He could have got a job as head of the Bank of England. And amid all the talk of the show of pies, large and small, says Jimmy Quipment, I'm still eagerly awaiting for you to play the anthem specially written for you by Lloyd's Bank. Namely, it's pie time. Yes, of course. It's our Eurovision entry. It's pie time. This continued snubbing of the great man's offering is that we're not snubbing it. It's not out yet. But as soon as its pie time is out, don't think we won't be singing along. It's just been announced that Sky has won the exclusive rights to cover the World Origami Championships to be held in Osaka, Japan, this July. It will, however, only be available on pay-per-view. You've probably heard Dudley, well, perhaps you were lucky enough to avoid it, doing his little bit for Dudley. I'll inform you yesterday's letter purporting come from the Mayor of Dudley, in fact a hoax, coincided with this message emanating from the real Mayor's parlour. It's from Ivor Boston Chain, Lord Mayor of Dudley. Wonderful. Anyway, they're very, very proud frequent and unpaid publicity which we lavish upon the wonderful town of Dudley. Hurrah for quantitative easing! What relief! All that embarrassing advertising for potions, lotions, and digestive transit probiotics seems to have paid off. At last, something is shifting. Russell O'Spring here. I'm going to replace my wallet with a wheelbarrow. I'll be able to carry all that extra money as soon as it's printed. And just to recap on the economy, says Daft Dave, the banks lost all our money. The banks stopped lending us money. People are losing their jobs and so have no money to lend to the banks to lend back to us. And the government wants us to spend the money we don't have because we don't have a job, and the banks won't lend us the money we want to spend, so the government prints more money. The banks won't lend us this extra money, and we can't earn the extra money because there aren't any jobs left. And they call me daft. What a day we've had. Up to our very shoulder pads in pies. You promote National Pie Week, and what do we get? Quantitative easing. A personal triumph. Who said you don't do politics? Peter. Mrs. Lively. It's from Luke. Luke Lively. I watched David Attenborough last night. There's no need for language. Which featured... getting on your nerves, which featured the long trek of sardines from the oceans to the south of South Africa, up the east coast as far as Durban. And there are zillions, I'm turning into Alan Wicker now, there are zillions of these little fish in gigantic shoals. And this makes seemingly pointless journey as the water cools down. They can't tolerate temperatures over 20 degrees. So why don't they stay in the cold water? Anyway, Mrs. Lively watched the fish dodging all manner of predators. Dolphins, sharks, a whale, kamikaze gannets, fur seals. And anyway, these poor fish struggled along, and those who managed to survive the natural predators all arrived at Durban, only to be scooped up in nets by its citizens. As I say, Mrs. Lively watched this very quietly until the very end, when she made two comments. She's known for them. One, on seeing the diver with his camera floating around in a shoal of sharks, she muttered, "He's obviously bonkers." And two, on seeing the surviving sardines in the nets, she pronounced, "Well, when I come back next, I'm not coming back as a sardine."
You're listening to the Wake Up to Wogan podcast from BBC Radio 2.
And look, we have a little playlet for you a little bit later on, just to, as it were, whet the old appetite.
I'm sure how to play this.
Well, it's the Armchair Theatre group of Wake Up to Wogan. It's called Dudley Todd, the demon newscaster of Portland Place. And the usual players, of course. Your wife's an old bat. Never mind. Nonetheless, she will be playing Lady Macbeth tomorrow night. Anyway, so Dudley Todd, the demon newscaster of Portland Place. That will be after your good work, Lynn.
Very exciting.
And from the office of not only the Mayor of Harrow, the Mayor of Dudley.
Oh, is that for me? Did you want to pass
Dear
that?
Mr. Dedicoat, it's with great pleasure I can inform you, in recognition of your service in the broadcasting, he decided to grant you the freedom of Dudley.
Great.
You strive to put Dudley on the map during your career. Here's a suitable reward. At a ceremony next month, you'll be awarded the freedom of the town, receive a key to the Trident Shopping Centre, henceforth have the casting vote on contentious planning applications, and the right to drive a herd of llamas over the canal.
Oh, excellent.
You'll also get the opportunity to share dinner with our carnival queen, Miss Dudley, suitably chaperoned, of course. That'll be you.
Oh.
We did also choose a Mr. Dudley as well, so other options are available. Anyway, we look forward to seeing you next month at the town hall. Bring a bottle of something nice if you can.
How good to hear a bit of political correctness this morning, for once.
Doesn't happen often.
Yeah, and don't take the llama thing too seriously. Lenny Henry tried it for real and came down with hoof rot. I have a perceptive ear.
You do?
And
no, you do.
Now...
That's very good. Oh, no.
Dudley Todd, the demon newscaster. We'll do that again.
We're off to a good start.
I'll get this right. Dudley Todd, the demon newscaster of Portland Place. The scene is Mrs. Taffy Traffic's pie shop. Enter Dudley Todd, laughing... Oh, God.
Laughing loudly, do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, if I'd had a chance.
Yes.
Go on.
Mrs. Mrs. Traffic,
God's sake.
come here, you wench, will you? I've dispatched...
It's his first line, and he's putting bits in.
I've dispatched another of our special pie fillings via the secret tunnel. My trusty cutthroat razor did the job very quickly and very cleanly.
Oh, my sweet Dudley. How wonderful.
Alexa.
That should keep veteran BBC broadcasters in pies for a long time to come. They won't be able to moan that they're not getting their fill of a good meat pie every day.
Indeed not, Mrs. Taffy. Your popularity is growing throughout the whole of Broadcasting House.
He sounds like Stephen Fry.
At this rate, we won't be able to keep up with the demand. Even some pie company from Cardiff has asked us if we'd be interested in sharing our secret recipe.
If only they knew that the thing that gives my pie's body is a real body.
The shop door opens, and not a moment too soon. And the bell rings.
Ling.
Enter Inspector Wogan. Evening, all. Excuse me if I don't do the knee bend. I'm breaking in a thong for a friend. Don't wish to cause any damage to either the lingerie or myself.
How can we help you, Inspector?
We've reason to believe that you're using a real personage in your pies. I've come to arrest you both. Now, be silly, son. Put that razor down. Come quickly.
I think it's quietly, isn't it?
Sorry, quietly. We'll do that line again. Now... No. Practice makes perfect. Okay. Now, don't be silly, son. Sorry, he's changed. His voice has changed. How did that happen?
In a matter of seconds.
Don't be silly, son. Put that razor down. Come quietly.
With 3 voices there, covering all eventuality. Oh, all right.
Oh, for God's sake.
I give in. But what gave us away?
It wasn't too difficult. The names of the pies gave us a clue. Boggy beef, Nove ham, Bobby Pryor pork, and Barrowlands bacon all ties in with the people who've gone missing recently. Elementary, really.
Damn you! It's a fair cop, Gov!
The end, and it could well be for all our careers.
This was a podcast from BBC Radio 2. Get more information now at bbc.co.uk/Radio 2 and wake up to Wogan every weekday morning from 7:30 online, on digital and on 88 to 91 FM.
Wake up to